Hey, how you doing? How are you today? It's nice to have you here. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. So, how do you, this is more out of curiosity, how do you guys manage that? Awesome. It was fun. I'm glad you found them useful. What feels heavy? What happened? What's going on? Wow. That's crazy. Life's been great, man. It's been great. Truly blessed. Sorry, this music, yo. This music is so fucking nice. It has me. This music is nice. So I'm very like it has me very chilled out. I'm loving it. It feels so good. Like the energy coming from it is so fucking soothing. I forgot how nice it is to set the tone when I'm doing videos and stuff. It's been good, man. How's life been for you, Grim Dog? So go sit outside. Go walk outside barefoot. Go sit outside and connect to the earth. Get out of the area that you're in. If you're not at work, to be able to do that, do that. Absolutely. I definitely, I feel you on that, bro. I mean, yeah, it's sprouting. I don't know. I'm not expanding my aura to connect to it. I'm very relaxed today. I don't feel like overextending or anything like that. Yeah. So when I was working with him, excuse me, guys, my freaking nose is itching. When I was working with him, I utilized just his in chant. I used his in, but I made a daily practice to connect with him. So every time I got up, I would connect with him. I would um, essentially just go back things that he showed me. So whenever I had like a vision quest with him, or there was any kind of visual that popped up in regards to him, I utilized that, and I would continue utilizing that as a result until I got new things or new visions that came forward. That's how I mean, that's essentially how I ended up actually making that area his. And as for jewelry and items, every time I did every time I did these, like anything that was devotional to him, I would just have those pieces of jewelry sitting on in that area so that when those energies came forward, they would be exposed. They would essentially be exposed to his energy and they'd be imbued as a result. So the more you have something in an area in which a spirit starts to inhabit, you'll have the ability to get those things imbued. And that's exactly what his essence remained in it because it ended up bleeding through that specific area as a result. Especially if you tell them that you are wanting to give this thing to them. Now, when you're giving something to them in that way, and you tell them, hey, yours, I want to give this to you, that's called consecration. So you've now consecrated that item and you've given it to them, and their energy will now inhabit that item. I don't really do this shit where they make the chat just top chat. I don't care about all that. So whatever you're wanting to give to them, whatever you're wanting to give to, any of the infernal kings or anyone for that matter, any spirit, yes, yes, I have thought about writing a book. There's been several psychics as well that have told me that I should do that. I've really just been trying to get all of my stuff in that I've been wanting to do before I go forward with something like that, just because it is so intense. It's so intense. Um, going forward with a process such as writing a book. I started a book when I was maybe like 16. It took so long. No, absolutely. No problem. It's going really well. So, okay, so go outside. I'm referring to you, okay? Go outside. Step outside. Leave outside. Leave outside. Go outside. Go outside. Go step in the grass. Go outside. You probably just need to ground. Be too far out in that energy. You're being overexposed to it, so just go outside. The better idea to do that. Keep it simple. That's the easiest way. hmm Well, I mean, essentially, if there was something to like my approach, when it came down to working with the energies of the, infernal in the past, I have any problem with it because it's something that definitely, like, you know, have a lot of experiences that I, have not really gotten to take a deeper. And I don't know if I necessarily want to do that, if that makes sense. I'm not at the point in time right now where I would want to actually go back into those energies. Now, when you guys ask me questions and you want lessons in regards to working with Goetics, I don't work with the Goetia anymore, but because of the fact that I have worked with them, I'm more than happy to give you all the advice, all the tips and techniques and things of that sort that I've learned along the way, essentially. You're welcome. I believe that if you go outside, it'll feel so much better. Get out of that room. When you're overexposed to energies like that for long periods of time, that's what starts to make it feel heavy. That's what starts to make it feel like it's unbearable. So just step a minute, step away. Open your door, open your windows, let some outside air come in, let some earthly energies in. Devontre, for you, I would say someone like Be Friends. Be Friends. You resonate strongly with death, I would say Be Friends or someone like Bonet. Bonet helps with that kind of stuff too. Could also go to someone like Lucifer for Kale. That works as well. No problem. Glad you like it. I just take, the approach that I take is one that I would want someone to take with me. I like to keep it very simple. I don't like things to be super complicated. It's even to the point now where my rituals are not even extremely complicated. For the most part, when I do any of my rites, I don't even really use more. It's all energy. My diet is literally the main reason why everything has been shifting as much as it has as well. I maintain a very strict diet. All right, can you guys hear this music? This music is so nice. It's fucking beautiful. So also now that there's a good amount of you guys in here, the announcement that I wanted to make in regards to Patreon was this. I'm going to be completely changing the way that I run the Patreon um and interact with you guys as well. I want to be more active with you and I want to do more things with you guys. I feel like it's more you get more bang for your buck when it comes to actually being on a Patreon and you can interact with the practitioner that you're wanting to learn from. I will have lessons that are on there. So I'll be updating certain lessons and courses that I have, but it'll be a weekly thing in which I'll release something new and we'll do it together. So depending on what area you're in, I will take the time out of a specific day during the week to add something to it, and we'll all work on it together. Everyone who's, pledged to a specific tier in Patreon. Those specific tiers are going to be specific courses. Those will be different types of magic that I specialize in, that I, have a lot of experience in, and I'm willing to teach you guys and walk through it together. I feel like it works the best that way when you have that type of approach. So if anyone is interested in learning from me, that's the way that you're going to be able to learn from me. I'll be doing things with you guys in a I'm speaking on whether or not I want to do a setting in which we do a video chat and then there's all of you that are there, because that could work. Do a full blown phone call where all of you are on it, because there are apps that can utilize, that where you can do that, and that could work very well. But I would like to literally just take it one step at a time, where we do something weekly and it's one step at a time. It'll make it far more efficient. It'll make it, it'll give you time to get a basic understanding of my approach. And it'll also give you the ability to work on something with a little bit of time and then add things together. So it's going to be like a step by step formula in which we add everything together. And then over, if you decide you want to continue on learning from me, we will use everything that I've put out that we've worked on together as one thing. It'll get to the point where everything is out and you can continue to utilize it, if that makes sense. It's the way that I wish people would have taught me when I was learning. What do you guys think of that idea? You're welcome, Devon, for being here. I appreciate the support. I hope that helps. Also, Devontre, if you have any unwanted guests and you feel like you're not comfortable, you're not with working with this kind of stuff, I offer rights in regard to these particular type of things. So I'd love to help you if it came down to you actually wanting to hire help on that. That's what I do. Like it's one of my specialties. So I could help you if you so wish. Mm-hmm. Boone, be friends. You're welcome. I need to crack my back. Oh, so nice. Ah, Heck, Kilowatt, if it works and you feel like that's where you are right now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no problem. There's nothing wrong with taking a pause. There's nothing wrong with taking a second. That's okay. Well, good night, Shay. What would you want to learn? If you could learn something, what would you want to learn? Heavy heart? I don't know. You might just be running into certain things that I. Good afternoon. How are you? I'll just put it this way. Who I was even 3 months ago has completely changed. Completely. I'm shifting and changing every single day. Absolutely. What's up? How you doing? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's been growing like crazy. I love it, man. Here's the thing, Lena, that I learned about that and the way that they present themselves to you. It's essentially their those are specific aspects of them. So they're coming to you and showing to you a certain way pertaining to whichever aspect you're the most comfortable with at that point in time. Yeah, really have. I think the spirits for that, man. I think the spirits for real. Every day, every day. Always in touch with Lord Azazel. Always, always. Vanishing techniques? It's a good question. Mm, I like to use means in which you're actually cutting away at the energy. I stopped TikTok much drama. I was getting dragged into way too much drama that wasn't even mine, that had absolutely nothing to do with me. So I take a completely different approach. And this is the approach that I took. I'm more comfortable with YouTube because it's more of a separate type of platform. You get your own, like, you get your own shit. I like it more. I don't do tarot anymore. I'm a no tools psychic. Um, I received the blessing of becoming a no tool psychic a few years, so I can read situations without using tarot cards. I can read them and see people and look deep without any tools. Mhm. And the crazy thing is, once that changed, I can't use them. Period. Like with that blessing, I can't use them anymore. I can't read them. I have no means of actually understanding them anymore. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what ends up happening, Luna. So that makes sense. That's very similar to how Bonet used to show themselves to me. Bonet would come as a woman that was all gold and naked, right? And that energy had a certain effect on me. There was no difference in that specific way that Bonet showed themselves to me compared to when they would show themselves as a tree when I was walking through a graveyard with them. Like that energy remains the same, but they come to you and show themselves to you in those ways to teach you specific things. It's more, those are more, based on lessons. Here's the best thing that you can do for tarot cards, Trey. Hold them, shuffle them, and knock on them. Make sure you collect all of the other, like the facets of the cards. So each clack them and shuffle them. You shuffle them and you ask your questions. And as you ask your questions, you'll be able to receive answers in which you're looking for. The more you go along, the more you work with them. The more you work with them, the more the doorway will open, and you'll start to understand what your abilities are as a result of it as well. I was more of an intuitive psychic when it came down to utilizing tarot cards. So that's why I feel like it got to the point where I became a no tool psychic quicker because I never actually paid attention to the cards themselves. I would read the cards, but I would watch scenes that played out in the cards instead of actually utilizing the real messages and meanings of the cards. The cards just opened up my sight even more. That's really all that it was. Some people are intuitive, some people are more in, you know, in tune with the actual cards themselves. They just worked as extensions of people's energies. They would allow me to, when I shuffled the cards, just actually read someone and see the situations playing out. I could watch the scenes. I could watch the things that were happening. I could watch conflicts. I could watch their, you know, their life. It just was an extension of me and an extension of the clients that I was reading. Yeah, Trey, you'd work well with um, what is that called? You work with tossing charms. Your means of divination would work you're very good with tossing. So toss charms, coins, things of that sort. Give them that. Learn charms. That'd be something that you would be very, very good at. Tossing charms. I'm sure you know what I mean when it comes down to that. Hmm. Absolutely. Keep me up to come back and actually tell me if that feels right. Get yourself some books on it, learn about it, get a feel for it. I'm always interested in like the thing, the difference between me and other practitioners. I'm interested in I'm interested in you guys' progress. I'm interested in actually seeing you guys grow. I like to see people thrive when they take this shit serious, you know? Especially if it's something that you have an affinity for. Like I like to be updated about it. I think it's really cool. What's up, Bocato? Damn. See, I need to not go live without this peaceful ass background. Yes, yes, I actually do. See, you need to understand how to get an overlay of someone. You need to understand how to connect to an overlay, but that takes some clairvoyant ability. It takes some sort of clairvoyant ability when it comes to working with those objects and manipulating energies of others specifically, especially when you're dealing with stuff like this. Because when you get into that is when you get into understanding the different forms of wards and protections and things of that sort that people have. That's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and it's very important when you're working with stuff like that. An overlay is pretty much essentially an image of a person. So say you're focusing on that. If I focus me personally right now, I focused on someone long enough, and I sat in a visual of them. I haven't, but will be. I'll always love him, man. Like he's always gonna have a special place. Always. That's part of my ancestry. That's my fam right there. So he'll always have a special place for real. Um, Geez, I got sidetracked by that comment. I got sidetracked. um, an overlay is. I'll get back into what I was saying essentially. When you, me personally, right now, if I sit here and I visualize somebody for long enough, and I see them, and I start to wear image that I'm visualizing, I'll be able to interact with that image. I'll be able to interact so well with that image that I could manipulate what's going on around them. If you're looking and visualizing someone if you're visualizing someone or you're looking at someone for long enough, you can pull that energy to you and away from your vision and out into the mundane realm, right? And you can place that over the object that you're utilizing. It's just going to take a little bit more time. So a specialty when it comes down to that. Other people don't. Now, when you can't use an Ole, then you essentially need to call on a spirit that has the ability to anoint objects with someone else's essence. So then that's essentially when you get into working with spirits who have specialties with connecting to puppets or that would work well with that sympathetic nerve. But overlays are the main thing that I utilize when it comes down to that type of practice. I will see the person. A wooden I have a wooden statue that I utilize for my client work. I utilize for spirit work, any of the sort. And that specifically is really the only thing that I'll use. I don't my tools and everything aren't super intricate. They don't have a bunch of different things to them because I'm using energy. I manipulate energy more than anything. So if I'm using that statue and I want to connect to someone, say the purpose of healing them, right? I would hold on to this statue and I would look at and I'll envision them. And then once I can see them fully to the point where I feel like I can interact with them in that vision, then I'll take that vision, I will move it and put it over the object that I'm using to directly connect to them. And then once I'm able to do that, the healing that I'm wanting to send, I'll be able to send it to them immediately. But here's the thing, that's in my family. So it's something that I have the ability to do. You would have to be able to either learn that spirit or naturally work in that way. I didn't learn that from any spirits. I learned that just because of the fact that it's in me. Like it's something that I naturally just knew how to do. I can't name any spirits that do that stuff because I've not worked with any. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I haven't worked with any who taught me how to do that. I learned that just practice is something that just came natural. You'll notice, you know, you'll notice, especially as you learn more with me and from me. Especially if you go into and you take the courses like the way that I have my up now, you'll notice that there will be things that I just naturally knew, and there will be things that I learned from the spirits. You'll be able to see them, so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you would go. Yeah, you would definitely go to learn it. It's better that way because they can actually guide you step by step. But something like that from the spirits is to actually form a bond with them first. You want to form a bond, then you can learn from them because then they'll be willing to teach you when they know that you're serious about the work that they're going to be showing you or the work that you're doing with them. It's very important to maintain your relationships with them for sure. The first courses that I've updated on the Patreon is working with the ancestors. So if there's anyone that wants to work with their ancestors and they want to, connect with them, you want to know how to make an altar and build one specifically for them, I have that on my Patreon. It's very reasonably priced as well, and it'll be a monthly payment. And like I said, there will literally be new lessons every week that we do together to bring it all together, a whole like ritual. Yeah, you work with King Bilal right now, so you would essentially be learning from him in regards to whatever it is that he specializes in, to which you know. You can ask him, especially when you're to the point where you have that workshop with him, you can petition him to teach you certain things, and he'll teach you. What do you? Well, if you work with him right now, what's up? How you doing? If you work with him right now and you ask him something, you've been working with him for quite some time, he's likely just going to start teaching you if you were to ask him that. Especially if you gave him some an offering. I do not work with succubi. I do not. I don't work with any type of magic that is outside of death. I'm a worker of death, so I work with the death crew. I don't mix my magic. I don't work with any other magic aside from just death. That's it. Who knows? Yeah, I don't work with any succubi whatsoever. That'd be for someone who works with succubi. That'd be for someone who works with love magic, which I don't. Okay. hmm These are questions I'm not about to answer. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, so, so what if you feel like you can't hear them yet? That's okay. Use tarot cards. Use a pendulum. Get yes and no. Get, uh, you know, get specific. I mean, different types of divinatory tools. You'll find your way, Trey. Don't even worry about it. Absolutely, man. No worries. Thanks for dropping by, dude. But you'll find your way, Trey. Just continue on. Bilal's also who works with your psychic abilities too, so you could petition for that as well. Yo, you know what's so funny, Trey? That's the reason why I said what I said tossing, because I could see you using dice. That's funny. That's funny as shit, yo. So I'm saying, I'm telling you, like I'm telling you. So that's how I know for a fact that you're gonna be more of a clairsentient anyway. So you're gonna feel energies out. It's a little more difficult as someone who's a clairsentient because you'll be uh feeling, smelling, tasting more than anything. So I would play on that and I would start asking for certain tastes or smells or certain as far as yes and no's. You could also take it as far as ask for a specific feel of like a vibration and get them to utilize that as a result of communicating with you. I like tendrils. Those are fun. Depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Really depends on what I'm doing, to be honest. I know, Trey. I got you, bro. I got you. I see you. You know, like, that's what I mean. Like, if when it comes down to a lot of these things, I can see a lot of you guys. I can feel a lot of you guys. I can feel you. I can feel your abilities. I know your abilities. I can work with you with your abilities. You know what? I just got another idea too, which I will definitely implement into onto Patreon because I work well with essentially all of you, like with everything. But since I can see you guys and I can feel you guys, I can help. I would love to help in regards to those specific things because there are things that I have been taught by the spirits that I have not really put out there yet. in regards to a lot of these different things. But I can tell you right now, my ability with clairsentience. No, actually, no, we're not. But we're really cool though. She's a good friend of mine. No, no, we're not together though. But we're friends. She's a good person. She'll always have a she'll always be a really like a really good friend of mine. Oh man. That's good. This is a very good thing. This means you have a real connection to him. It means you have a real connection. That's good. You can use that to anoint. Take some of that and put it on your put his energies there. So when it comes down to when you do stuff like that and give an offering, you want to get a deeper like you want to connect with him on a deeper level. And if it's been sitting there and he has been connecting with it, since you can smell it and it's already like you're feeling that specifically, take dip your fingers in it and anoint it and sit with that. You work well with smell, anoint yourself with some of that then and take in some of his essence. Oh, you're welcome, man. I told you, like all of you guys, when it comes down to people, you respectful here. You are, you're actually authentic, not being an asshole, and you're not trying to like you don't have ill intent. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'll help you out. I appreciate it, man. This shit is for you guys. This challenge, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like that's facts. It's for you. The channel's for you. This information, like all of this, the approach that I'm taking, everything I'm putting out there is really for you guys. Like it's for you. It's just who I am when it comes down to this stuff, I want people to know about it. If there are certain things that people can know about, they will know about it. If they're willing to put it to good use. You know what I'm saying? Well, and this, I mean, the way that I'm doing these videos and everything, this is gonna be a daily thing. So I'll come on and do this for like an hour or so or something like that. I'm gonna do every single day to get back into like my rhythm with YouTube. Absolutely, man. I just like to keep it a buck. No, I'm strictly left-hand path, so I don't mix my practice. I don't work with angels at all. No, I can't say I would recommend doing that at all. Mm-mm. Especially if you're with someone like King Belial. Yeah, stick to Lord Belial. That's it. Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for dropping in. Could I explain what a bit? What do you want me to explain, Trey? Sorry, I don't. I just I like context and I like to know like where I should go with certain things, and that's the reason why I'm asking in that way. What we explained. By the way, to the person that asked me about succubi earlier, want to learn about real succubi, incubi, real love magic, and anything that pertains to that practice, you will go to Imperator Imperius that comes from the Tower of Whispers. That's who you'll go to for anything pertaining to that kind of information. That is the only practitioner, the only person that I know that embodies specific type of energy in the way that it needs to be embodied and in the way that actually truly is depicted in regards to that specific type of energy. He truly embodies that. He walks, talks, and lives that shit. So the only one that you should go to in regards to that kind of stuff would be Imperator. He'd be the only one, hands down. Or someone like the EAGM of the Temple of Mezra. Those are the only two that I can recommend offhand when it comes down to that stuff. That's it. Since people were asking about succubi, I don't mix my practices. I don't work with anything aside from everything that I work with will pertain to and be connected to energy of death, unless it's just your psychic abilities and working with spirits just on an in general level, then that's different. Aside from that, when it gets into specific types of magic, I don't mix my magic. I don't mix my magic. I don't mix practices, and I do not work with any other um, beings aside from the left hand path and infernals, hands down. That's it. You don't mix those energies because it will throw off the balance of you. It counteracts the lessons that you're learning and the changes that the spirits want to, the changes that these beings want to bring to you. They will clash with one another. And as a result of that clash, life is going to reflect that. You do not want to do that. You have some good examples of that. Just go look at TikTok. You can scroll on TikTok and you'll see good examples of it. And you'll be able to tell who works with what and why their life is a certain way. You'll see all of that. Everyone that I know that sticks strictly to the left hand path, that has only stuck to truly the left hand path, has absolutely no problem with anything in regards to their practice, their magic, their mastery, whatever it is that they're wanting to make happen within their life and what they're doing, they have no problems. They make it happen. This is the reason why we don't, why I don't, that's the reason why I don't mix the two. It's deeply ingrained in people to use that stuff as a result of fear, fearing demons. Why approach a demon if you them? You know, why approach a king for to receive things from them and to live like a king if you fear that king? Point. You won't truly learn real lessons or learn anything for that matter if you have someone who's constraining them and you're constantly trying to beat them, whip them, steal information from them. There's gonna come in time where they're gonna come back and try and fuck you up. No one pays attention to that. Well, I won't say no one pays attention to that, but there are people who just don't pay attention to why we don't mix. We don't mix. You don't see me going on any podcasts or anything like that, or talking to anybody or being even associated with anybody that works with angels because I don't fuck with that. People fuck with that either, and that just is what it is. That's all right, sir. You still here, you know. It's all that matters. It's all right. I mean, I hope that helps. I actually don't fuck with them because I'm a black dude too. So, and that's not my system. That's not my family shit. That has nothing to do with me. So that's a whole another that's another reason why I do not fuck with it. I know that that system ain't for me. That ain't for me. That ain't nothing that I work with. Black people, especially black people who walk the left hand path, they get it the worst. You can't. You can't do both. You can't do both and actually progress at all. You want to? Go ahead. I don't fuck with it. It didn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me. It also it and like I said, it doesn't do anything for me. It's because I'm black. I'm born black. I come from Fresno. Like all of that shit that so many people, my family, even believe in when it comes down to that bullshit is a facade because no one goes anywhere. No one progresses. They don't progress anywhere for any reason. They're so fucked up. They're still in trauma, smoking weed, stuck mentally. You know, there's no progression. There's no change. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking about Christianity because someone what it. I mean, I'm not even gonna say Christianity. I'm talking about just the Judeo-Christian doctrine in general. Period. Like all of it as a whole, I don't fuck with. But as I said, no, there's not. There's no difference because it's hand in hand. No difference. You may think that that's the case, but that's the reason why it's called right hand path. There's no there's no difference. It's the same shit. Yeah, because those aren't your people. That's not your people. That is exactly what I'm saying. Yes. I mean, say, man, that's fine. Like that's your opinion. I'm just saying for me, what I teach, what I keep around me is strictly left hand path. I don't fuck with none of that other shit. I'm not right hand. I'm not neutral. I'm left hand. Point blank. Period. That's all I fuck with. That's all I am. That's my healing comes from. That's where all of everything that I work with and am connected to comes from. That's deeply rooted in my people. That's deeply rooted in my bloodline. It always has been. Corn, you can do what you want. What I'm saying is, no, it's not for us. That shit not for us. Look at what that shit was used for in the past, and they sat idly and let us just suffer. Family suffer. It really doesn't though, because it goes hand in hand. It goes that goes hand in hand. It's more of a, how do I put this? If there's a distinction and you have to call yourself left or right, then there you are there. Why are you calling yourself right hand? Why can't you call yourself left hand? Because left hand has both too. But every single person that I know, when it comes down to that specific path, it's is literally only connecting to and focusing on those specific pieces of this consciousness that's connected to this deity, and this deity is connected to this, which aspect goes back to this aspect, which goes back to this God who's just literally a mask. It all goes back to the same exact thing. This is why I stick to just this is why I stick to strictly left hand path. Because every mask, every deity that's in on this path is gonna get back to someone who is strictly outcasted, someone who literally was banned and fucking told could not teach, and they were fucking killed as a result of it, or people followed them were killed as a result of it because the others that didn't want them around literally started to kill the people who they started to destroy their shit. They started to do everything. It wouldn't be any kind of spiritual evolution. It's not spiritually evolving. It's not. It does go hand in hand with mediumship. It can be a little dangerous though. A monk wouldn't be considered right hand path. It will. Yeah, your messages appear. I'm glad that it helped. Well, here's the thing. Monks fall into a completely different category. They wouldn't say that their life they wouldn't call themselves right hand path whatsoever. Like I'll never be like, oh yeah, I practice the right hand. They wouldn't do that because their traditional practices, their medicine is rooted in, what are they usually rooted in? Buddhism. They are usually Buddhist, which would be, you know what that system is. We I don't work with that. Is all I'm like is what I'm saying. Like that's their system, that's their practice. Mhm. It turns out, yeah, there you go. You calm down. Helped. Interesting. I don't necessarily know about past life, so I don't know how to navigate that. I have no idea. Yeah, I saw that. I just saw that right now. I have no idea at all about past lives. I don't necessarily work with them. It's never been something that I've been like interested in remotely at all. So I have no, yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you nothing about past lives. They different. That's a that's a big difference. Interesting. Yeah. reading about them, and then they read about you. I love working with my ancestors. I think it's actually something I'm about to start teaching. I'll be teaching a course about it on Patreon, actually, how to work with your ancestors. I love that. I think it's beautiful. But that's the thing. Everybody works with them in completely different ways. My way is gonna be real. My means of working with ancestors is gonna be real different. It's very different than your average practitioner would work with them because I take that extra step when it comes to connecting with them. I don't beat around the bush. I get right to it. I think that's how it should be. I don't know. I don't I don't have an answer for you. Oh, I have no idea, man. Yeah, you read them, you read about them, you study them, study you. The more you look into them, the more they're gonna start looking into you too. Well, broski, what do you work with? What do you work with? Because it sounds to me like you need to learn about cloaking. Yeah, you need to learn how to cloak. Cloaking and protection are very important when it comes down to those specific things, especially if learning about lucidity and if you're learning about lucidity and working with dreams, that's essentially your stuff that you're walking through. That's the stuff that where you're starting to actually leave into the other worlds. Yeah, yeah, cloak. That's a good idea. um, well, how do I get into that? Hmm, it's different. It's different, broski, and here's the reason why it's different. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on that. I got to think about it for a second. Um, the reason why it's different, broski, is because protection. Cool. Because protection is protecting yourself from something that is coming your way, right? Something that could come your way, something that could potentially harm you, something that could potentially, affect you in any way, shape, or form. More specifically, that would be negative, right? A cloak is you hiding, like you are hiding yourself in plain sight, blending in with the background, essentially, blending in, hidden. you know, where your protections and things of that sort, they can be also hidden when you have an understanding of that stuff. It's a matter of it's a matter of what exactly you're hiding from, knowing what you're trying to hide yourself, and knowing what you want the outcome to be a result of what you're casting in regards to that specific kind of stuff. Because you can make yourself look like something or someone completely different into cloaking as well, right? And that could completely turn them away from being on your trail because cloaking can essentially change your scent. It can change your overall aura, like for a moment in time. This is something that people don't talk about too much. It's something that a lot of your modern practitioners lack. And this is the shit that I'm talking about. This is another prime example of why you don't mix paths. You will learn about this shit. You will learn about it. But you'll learn far more about this type of stuff through your more, baneful beings. You approach them, they understand war, they understand, being tactical, they understand moving behind enemy lines, they understand infiltration, things other they understand things that other beings don't want to teach. They understand other things that they understand those things that others refuse to teach. There will become a point in time where you'll be working with certain things and they don't want to teach you about those things because they don't want you to get to a certain potential within your path. And it happens every fucking time. It happens every time. So that's something that comes with understanding who you're approaching. You'll have an understanding of this stuff when you understand who you're approaching. So when you approach someone who has abilities and skills that pertain to those specific things, boom, you ask for that, you will get that. You'll get an understanding of it and you'll know how to utilize it accordingly. Those are things used for warfare. Those are things that you should actually actively be utilizing before you even get into warfare. Those are things that you should be utilizing before you get any type of practice, period. Well, here's the thing, broski. Everything that's out there is not for you. Every demon also is not for you. There's these rogues. Rogues are the ones that are lower level ranking, don't give a fuck about anything. They don't care. They just want to fuck shit up. You have, if you take a look at the hierarchy, right? Take the hierarchy in regards to your, like, just specific demons in general. In the Goetia is a very good example. Look at the hierarchy. Look at the ones that are lower ranking and the ones that do not have big legions of spirits. Those ones that don't have big legions of spirits will rule over some of the sinister shit because they don't care. They're not high ranking because they don't care to be high ranking. Maybe they just want to kill. Maybe they just want to do this. Maybe they want to do things that a king doesn't want to do. You know what I mean? They're something or someone that goes rogue is someone that doesn't give a fuck about a hierarchy. It's someone that doesn't care about moving up in rank. It's someone that doesn't get anything else but whatever it is that they're wanting to do. So if they have an agenda that differs from who they work under, then that's where they're gonna go. They go rogue, they'll go attack, they'll feed, they'll kill anything that they want to because they feel like it. Now those specific kind the ones that potentially could be showing up in your dream. Those also could be angels that are showing up in your dream because that is exactly what the fuck they do. That's exactly what they do. Themselves look like a family member. They'll make themselves look like someone who you feel comfortable with so that they can extract information from you, so that they can feed off of you, so that they can like puncture your aura, shit like that. Like they're the same shit. The ones that are the matrix beings are the angels. Like the ones that people call the matrix are angels. They work directly with that specific, they work directly with the veil. Like they're the ones that closed off for a lot of practitioners, is what I tell you. That's what I'm saying. So I would recommend learning about cloaking. And all that to say, I would recommend learning about cloaking. I would recommend learning about protections. I would recommend learning about, setting up some type of warding. Learn about that. Those are very important things to utilize on this in your practice. Those are extremely important. And they should be the first ones that you utilize. They should be the first ones. Before you do anything, those should be the first things. That's what I would recommend to beginning brand new practitioner. I would recommend learning cloaks, wards, and different forms of magic to protect yourself or to hide or to back or reflect energy to keep motherfuckers from fucking with you. That is specifically what I'd recommend to any new practitioners on this path. That is exactly what I would say. That is what I would recommend. Do not neglect the do not neglect those things because when you don't neglect those things, you will be able to thrive as a result. You won't run into spirits that try and lead you astray or fuck with your head or trick you, attack your family, or any of that sort. You'll get to that point where you can actually have a real understanding of what it's like to truly work with spirits. You'll know what their essence is like. You'll know what it's like when they're talking to you. You'll know what the signs are. You also won't have your ego pumped up to the point where you lead yourself down the path of self destruction. You're absolutely welcome, broski. I got you, man. Like, you know, I got you. I will eventually have courses on a lot of these things too. So, actually, yeah, that's another thing. I'll put that out too. That's fine. I'll do that too. But, broski, back to what you were saying earlier. I love yoga. Yoga's absolutely fucking amazing. It's something that I would recommend people implement into their daily practice. Yoga's helped me so much, tremendously. I try and do it whenever I can, when I have the time to at least. I try and do it. I get up first thing in the morning. I'm very flexible these days because I take care of my vessel. Yoga is one of those things that helps with so many different of your life and your practice as a result. No, they don't actually. And here's the reason why they don't. A black magician is different than a magician. And the reason why a black magician is different is a black magician specifically works with only spirits that are left hand. The other type of magicians are the ones that will work with, or someone that is neutral or gray or whatever the fuck you want to call it, they will work with both. So when you work with both, what ends up happening is you're working with two opposing sides. When you're working with those two opposing sides, if you're working with black magic and you're working with angels, and you're trying to bring those two together, and you're using angels to get demons to do what you want, the demons are going to be the ones that start to oppose you because clearly you have tea and ties to angels. So the ones who die horrible deaths and things like that are the ones that try and play both sides. Do you get what I mean? Like, do you get what I'm saying? I keep saying this shit because it's facts. It's true. You play both sides. You try to play both sides in this shit. Eventually, what ends up happening is the demons are going. They catch up to you, and they're gonna want their payments. They're gonna want the shame that you're gonna give. They're gonna want to, you know, they're gonna want that. They're gonna expect you to pay up because those fucking things that you think are your friends, those things you think are cool, or that those things you think are there for you, they're not, and they're vampiric in nature anyway. So they feed off of your energy every time you connect with them anyway. It doesn't matter. They all have an agenda. When you work black magic specifically, and you don't work with anything else, and you actually pay attention and utilize the lessons that are given to you, have anything happen to you like that, because you will be utilizing the lessons that have been taught. You'll be learning about warding, you'll be learning about your protections, you'll be learning about utilizing your means to keep yourself out of sight when it comes down to those specific type of things. You'll learn not to make yourself a target as a result. You can't come with can't bring, you know, five angels in and beat up Lucifer, right? And then expect Lucifer to continue giving you whatever it is that you're asking for. Oh, I want you to do this. I want you to make this happen. You're gonna make some petty shit happen. Boom, petty money. There's your petty money. Okay, boom. Oh, you want petty love? Here's petty love. Guaranteed that's gonna fall apart within not even a few years. Okay, oh, I want this. Okay, you want that to happen. Then it happens. But what happens when Lucifer starts to get a little bit more and more and more and more vengeful towards you? They're gonna leave you. Those motherfuckers are gonna leave you to get fucked up because that's what happens every single time. Every fucking time. You wanna do that? That's fine. They'll leave you to go. Every every practitioner that I know right now that does that shit, that is opposed to any other practitioners that strictly walk a path that doesn't mix, they get fixed by practitioners that just work with one fucking thing in regards to strictly to the left hand. Motherfuckers be getting spanked when it comes down to this shit because they do not embody the lessons that are given to them when they're trying to mix. It's cockiness, it's ego. Mixing this shit is ego driven. Why the fuck would you go to someone like any of the kings or queens or even a fucking jarl and ask them for any advice or information if you're going to put this shit down and try and like hog it from others that could benefit from that? And then at the same time, go to someone like, I'm not even about to name these motherfuckers. I don't fuck with them. And then go to someone that's completely from a whole nother side that has been their enemy for the longest time, and they've been at war for so fucking long. Watch them and then try and learn these opposite lessons. You can't put those two together because they will clash. Your life will reflect that shit. Your life will reflect that. I can't necessarily say what happens to the ones that would be considered gray. I can't necessarily say what happens, but I will tell you from what I've seen, people I know, the practitioners that I'm cool with within my inner circle, what they do. When I look at their lives and I look at my friends and people who I call my family that are really in this shit, that really do this shit, that are successful with this shit, they don't have any problems in their life. And it's due to the fact they don't mix this shit, is what I'm saying. They have no problems in their life. They're blessed. They don't have abuse problems. They don't have drug problems. They don't have problems at all. And when they do, they know where it's coming from. They know where it's stemming from. You you see what I mean? Like this shit, when you really do this shit, your life like that. When you really do this shit, your mind reflects that. When you really do it, your whole overall demeanor, your essence itself will reflect that. You are a reflection of exactly what you work with. So if you're working with two opposing sides and then boom, oh shit, I have a pill addiction, right? And you can't stop popping pills, or you can't stop crack, or you can't stop smoking meth, or you can't stop doing this and this. Who do you think is driving you to do that? You know what I mean? Like, who do you think is actually driving you to fucking partake in these substances in that way? You know, there are others that actually have the means to be able to do that, but that's because they come from a certain place. But I'll tell you right now, the others that I've seen that do that, that have the means and the ability to withstand stuff, they don't smoke crack, they don't smoke meth, they don't do hard drugs, they don't abuse shit. They don't. Yes, I would say that's the exact same. Yes, yes. People don't understand that when you expose yourself to certain things for long periods of time, the effects of that remain with you. The effects of the other stuff, especially if you're working with, like, especially if you're working with angels and they give you some type of fucking transmutation to change you more into like a fucking angel, and then boom, you over here trying to work with King Pond. How the fuck is that? Doesn't doesn't work. Will clash. Will fuck you up. You ever met somebody who literally has like relationships that don't work and they continue to not go well? That is a practitioner. You know what I mean? If you know somebody who literally has a relationships that continually and it's not by their choice and they're not choosing to let go and they're mixing shit, you could see the signs of people when they mix this shit. Is what I'm saying. You can watch, you can see. You'll see this shit. You'll see what I'm talking about. You can see this shit. Scroll TikTok is what I'm saying. Like, go on TikTok right now. Go scroll. Go look at certain people. Go look at certain practitioners. Look at how they are, look present themselves. Look at how they treat people too. You will see. You'll start to see a big difference. And then go look at somebody like Ace the Goblin, right? He's one of my rappers when it comes down to this like magic shit, when it comes down to left hand path shit. Go look at him. Listen to his music. Listen to what he's saying, right? Listen to that music and listen to what he's saying. Listen to how he raps about the shit about. Listen to the rituals that he's describing in the music. He really does this shit. You know what I mean? Knowing him and talking to him, because I know him personally, I can see his life thriving as a result of what the fuck he's doing. So when I listen to his music, that's why I like his music. He is doing the shit that he's talking about in the music. It is who he is. It's what he is embodying. Really do this shit, your life will really reflect it as a result. When you pay attention and you use the lessons that the energies that you're working with are giving you, your life will be a reflection of that. You may have one piece or two pieces that you still need to work on, but there are means to be able to get you to the point where you are okay, where you can work through that and you'll be able to burst through any barriers you might have on any aspect of your life as a result of it. That is what happens when you actually stick to one thing. That's what happens when you stick to something and continue with it. You know what that is? That's called reaching mastery. That is what you do. That's how you're supposed to do this shit. Work your shit, especially if you have an affinity for something. and it's natural to, and it comes naturally to you. It's who you are. If that's in your soul, work with that specific fucking energy. Stop listening to motherfuckers who are telling you, oh, go to this, go to that, go to this, 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 going to 20 different fucking beings, and then you end up getting fucked up and you have to come to someone like me to help out with it, you know? Because there's so many people who end up coming to me and they're like, oh, well, this and this and so said this. I don't give a fuck what said. What's happening in your life right now? And then you tell me what's happening in your life right now, and I'm like, okay, so what led up to this? Oh, well, I was working with this and this and this. And I'm like, why in the fuck are you working with these two when this one teaches this? If these two don't come from the same specific current or they don't come from the same specific practice, why in the fuck are you fucking with it? Embody everything that you're being taught, and you'll have a real understanding of how this shit works. Use everything that you're taught. Learn everything that you can from one so then you can understand how to approach another when it's time to approach another. The way that this path works is you will meet the ones that you're meant to work with. You will meet the ones you're meant to work with. They'll be brought to you. They'll be brought to you. They'll be brought right to you. Because most of the time, the ones that are going to be brought to you are either higher up or from literally the dominion of that specific spirit you're working with. They probably will be coming from the legions because you are working with this specific energy. So since you're working with that, boom, this one is from that legion. You know how it says this or this spirit has 40 legions, 200 legions, this many legions? That those legions are also fucking demons that are documented too. Some aren't, but they will come to you when you're in alignment, you have a bond, they'll come to you when the time's right. You'll be able to work with them. You'll be able to work with them. Pay attention to the shit that you're and stick to one fucking thing. Stop trying to mix shit up. Stop listening to people telling you to mix shit up because your life will always end up a fucking mess as a result of that. We've seen big downfalls of huge practitioners and huge magicians when it comes to this path. We see that shit every single day. But the ones who don't have downfalls that in that way are the ones who actually pay a fucking attention to the lessons that are being taught. The lessons that are in front of them, they are listening. They pay attention. They use what's given to them. They use those necessary tools that are taught to them by the one that they specifically were asking for those lessons from in the first place. Stop mixing the shit. Stop mixing shit, bro. Stop doing all this unnecessary shit because it's not going to solve anything. If you really want these problems, if you really want to find your way in this fucking world, don't mix shit. Work with one fucking thing. You're gonna work with one. You're gonna work with a certain current, work with a certain current, but stick to fucking current until you become a master. And then you actually will be able to have a real understanding of how all this shit works. I don't know too much about that, Trey. I don't know too much about that. And that's my like when it comes down to this shit, I don't know. I don't know. Things like that, I have no idea. I'm not even gonna act like I know. I'm always gonna keep it a buck with you, and when I don't know something, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what I think about that. I really don't know what I don't even know what that is. But I get all heated and shit because I'm very like I really take this shit serious. I take it very serious in what I do. I take my path serious. I really walked it. I've walked this path and I live this life and I've been fucking walking this path since I made the decision to strictly stick to the left hand. And that shit has not led me astray whatsoever. Everything that I want. Like everything that I could possibly want right now, I have. Everything that I could need at this point in time right now, I have. That's what I mean. You like you'll get all of that. It comes with time, but you'll get to that point. What I wanted was this. This is what the fuck I wanted. The approach that I have and the mind that I have at this day and age, that's what I wanted. That's what I got. I have it. And slowly but surely, every aspect of what makes up who I am is formed into something that is just like the beings and the spirits that I'm working with, and just like my family, just like that actually runs in my blood. I love this shit. I'll forever be in this shit. I'm always gonna do this shit. You know, I will. That like, there is nothing like it. There's nothing like it. What's up, Mello? And when you remain devoted and you get to that point where your spirits start like bringing you things that in your life you've always wanted to have in multiple different areas of your life, then you realize, damn, I'm glad I paid attention. I'm glad that I started using this shit. I'm glad I made this decision when I did, when this energy told me to do this. I mean, that's the reason. And that's the reason why is referred to as left hand. Because what were we always, I mean, what are black people always considered? The opposite, opposite, evil, alien, because of the fact that they look, feel, and act completely different from us. It's been that way throughout the history of our people. It's always been that way. It's always been that way. Every fucking time. Every time. I need something to drink. Go get me a bottle of water pretty soon. I don't know. There's no such thing. Well, actually, you know what? Let me indulge a little bit. Let me put you on. I got you. Here's what selling your soul is. This is a real bona fide breakdown exactly it means to sell your soul. Selling your soul is betraying your people, betraying your kind, betraying just the sanctity and the mental fortitude of the human race as a whole is the way that I would put it. And I would say a good example of that comes to mind, right, would be the fact that we have celebrities, right? We have celebrities and they're so famous and they're so fucking rich. Why exactly are they so rich and famous? What are they talking in their music? What are they talking about in their music? Things that will bring you harm, that will make you go hurt someone else. Two, make you likely have to end up in the hospital for whatever reason to spend money to buy pills to, you know, to fuel this system that then you have the buying of senseless shit, right? You have the promotion of these fashions. None of these fashion designers or any of them benefit whatsoever if we did not have rappers and celebrities. You know what I mean? If we did not have those in this world, we would not have any fashion designers, period, that are on such a high level where they're rich beyond your wildest fucking, rich beyond their wildest desires. They work hand in hand with the music industry and they benefit as a result. So do these major car dealerships like Bugatti. Who the fuck ever even heard of Bugatti? Really, I never heard of a damn Bugatti until fucking I heard Future rapping about it. You see what I mean? Like, he said he woke up in a new Bugatti. I didn't even know what the fuck that was. I went to go look it up. Boom. Then you think about it. When that song came out, Bugatti started selling like fucking crazy because people were literally not learning about them. Wiz Khalifa is another good example. You go look at a pair of Chuck Taylors right now. They're expensive as the fuck. They never. But Wiz Khalifa was like, "Oh, I love Chuck Taylors. I'm blah blah blah. It's gonna be my marketing." Became sponsored by them. He fucking started talking about them all the time. Drove up the fucking price. It became way more popular. And now they're one of the most popular fucking shoes, right up there with Jordans, which they never had. Jordans are another example. You see what do you get what I'm saying? Selling your soul is essentially ideas that do not benefit the people as a whole. They're selling ideas that benefit business. They're selling ideas that benefit the downfall of the people as a whole. Drill drill rappers that are famous, that have hella money, right? The industry and all of them, they don't give a fuck about these people. What they give a fuck about is that paycheck that they're gonna get as a result of people who are already miserable in the hood that literally are already living this lifestyle and they feel like, oh, I can relate to this because this is where I come from. So then everyone thinks that they can do that. And now they're like, oh, I'm gonna go do da da da. I'm gonna go kill this dude. Da 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 da. I'm this person smoking that person, whatever. They all are following along. They're following along. They're following that rapper and everything that that rapper is selling, saying, selling, and to do. And they're going and fucking continuously boom, 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 doing everything that they're telling them to do. That's what selling your soul is. That is what selling your soul is. Contract for these millions of fucking dollars to sell out your fucking people as a whole, to destroy your people as a whole, to brainwash your people, to become addicted to drugs, to make the kids become super fucking overly sexualized, to make them violent, to make them fucking whatever it is that your record label or whatever is wanting you to do is what you will do and what you will become. That is the idea that I believe in regards to selling your soul. Making a pact is not selling your soul. Making a pact is making an actual decision with the spirit who can reject that, by the way. This is what a lot of other people who oppose the shit won't say. Don't know. Man, when you're making a pact with a fucking when you're making a pact with an infernal king, which Lucifer's Rofocal, I'll give you a great example, rejected my pact three fucking times. Three times because it wasn't liking. Three fucking times. That's what I mean. You you think if it's that easy to just fucking sell your soul in that regard, don't you think he'd be like, oh yeah, I'll take that? No. No, because they don't just fucking work. They don't work with just anybody. They're not just gonna take just anybody. You think they're just gonna throw their teachings onto someone and then that Houston's gonna be able to just fucking skyrocket and be like, okay, here I am, this is what I do. It don't fucking work like that. No. This shit takes devotion, it takes dedication, this shit takes practice, this shit takes paying attention to detail, and this shit takes actually embodying those lessons that are being taught to you. He's a fucking he's a great negotiator. Him and Bonet are the main ones that taught me how to negotiate. Bonet is directly under Lord Lucifer, and I was taught how to negotiate from them. Taught how to negotiate a pact when I made my first pact with Bonet. And that is exactly how I learned about pact making. I learned that from them specifically. And here's how you're going to do it. No, if you want something, here's what you tell whatever that you're working with for whatever reason, especially if they come from this. Very different. Excuse me. Oh, you want to get into that? All right. So you're saying you never understood how they could bind the demon? The way that they bind demons is circles. They bind them through circles and different type of symbologies and names of the god that the angel serves. Is that is how that works. That's how they're bound in the first place. Or they'll be bound by something that is, uh, you know, a good example of that would be kryptonite to Superman. That would be kryptonite to a demon. Those specific types of things are would be considered kryptonite. Not for long, but that's a good comparison and example that I'd like to put out there. So Petru, um, I hope that that answers your question of selling your soul. What's up, Ignis? How you doing? I hope that answers your question. I hope that paints a better picture for you because that is what selling your soul really is. That's what it is. You know, everybody wants a gun now, right? Great example. A fantastic example would be, you know, the newer rappers that are coming at us. Everybody wants to be an everybody killer, right? Everybody wants to fucking carry guns now. Everybody wants switches on their guns. Everybody wants drum mags on their guns. Everybody wants to carry a gun. Nobody wants to fight. That's coming from the people are fucking listening to. Everybody's more hostile and they want to fucking, and just want to shoot. People are like that because of the fucking music that they're listening to. They're becoming like the frequencies that they're putting in their bodies, the frequencies that they're fucking having shot into their ears. That's literally what the fuck is happening. I mean, I can't even listen to most of that shit for too long. I don't listen to that stuff unless I'm really wanting to, like, unless I'm vibing. And then when I'm vibing, I'm like, all right, I'll use this for this specific type of duel, or I'll listen to this when I just want to be stupid and um, I want to smoke a cigar and I just want to be out of it, chilling out. Then I'm that stuff. But every single fucking rapper that is on a large scale level of success that has risen to a major large scale level of success in the United States specifically will literally sell their people out for a check. That is where the idea of a sellout came from. What's up, 88? Trill, sorry, I thought I answered that question earlier. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, Ignis, it's the same thing. It's okay though. Don't worry about it. We love the music that we listen to. If you're someone who can listen to music and not do the shit that they're telling you to do or say, then that's fine. You can listen to the shit. Just because you listen to it doesn't mean you need to do what the fuck they're saying. It doesn't mean you need to be exactly like them. The problem that we have in the world, and that's why the music sells as much as it does, because everyone wants to fucking be like this person when they're listening to them. And that is why they're referred to as celebrity. It does tremendously. It doesn't mean that they're weak. No, it means that if you call them into an area, you can trap them. Oh, that's okay, broski. Don't worry. It's all good. You can catch up in the chat. No, it doesn't mean that they're weaker. It just means that it it means that if you call them into a specific area and they appear, when you tell them to appear somewhere because you have something that's influencing them to do so, they can be trapped. That's how it's worked all these years. That's what they do. When you have opposing forces, and when you have more than one, right, being that is opposed to the one being that you're calling in, of course it's going to make it easier for them to become overwhelmed and trapped, especially in symbols that represent the complete opposite God or the complete opposite ruler. Yeah, I don't know about Dolph. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know about any of them. I don't know about these men. I don't know. I don't know their path. I don't know their practice. I don't know none of that shit. I know my practice and I know my people that I fuck with. When it comes down to it, that's just what it is, point blank. Yes, they are really influenced. But as I was explaining that, I mean, I hope that that explains what I was trying to, paint a picture of. That's what the idea of selling your soul is. Damn. What's up, Danny? Yeah, I'm trying to be active on it again. I love this shit. I really do enjoy this, and I did miss it. I just didn't have time to do it. Hey, brother. I'm just telling people about the idea of selling your soul. I'm telling them about the concept and what it actually means versus, what people think it means, especially pertaining to working with. Give me 1 second. Ugh, go get a water. You want to know the truth about what happens to you in the afterlife if you work with a demon or you work with certain demons? You'll have protection when you enter the afterlife. As a result, if you haven't respected that specific being, especially if that demon itself is someone who's been with your family in your bloodline for quite some time, you know? Find the ones who have worked with your family over the years and have been connected to them, then you get to a point where you start unlocking things and understanding stuff about this world and the worlds outside of here work. You'll have more freedom in the afterlife as a result of that. You'll have a better understanding of the afterlife as a result of that. Especially if you have connections to death. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. When you, oh, this is, need I say more? Mm, amazing. Amazing. It's one of the ones that people don't really know about either. It does. It does. That's true. You are brought far more freedom as a result. It's true. Yes, because you get understanding of what happens in the afterlife as a result of that. You get a better understanding of places that you can go and places you can travel to, things you can study. There's so much to it. There's so much to it. Just one place. There are vast, vast, vast planes and areas that you can go to and thrive and study and connect with other beings. Like there's so much. There's so much that is out there that isn't in this world. It does. It absolutely does. All right, let's take it and just admire these sounds. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit because this is so beautiful right now. Which one? This one or this one? Which one, brother Monk? Both of them are. Ooh. This one is two. I've had this for 2 years now. This one I've had this since my uh birthday. So this one's a couple months. A couple months. Yeah. I want more. I want more on my neck. Exactly. There's so many of them that have not been discovered. There's so many of them that have not been worked with at all. There's so many of them. And you want to know how you meet the ones that have not been discovered? Stick to the one that you're working with, and then you'll meet the other ones. This is another main reason why I say don't mix this shit. When you don't mix it, you'll learn everything about a spirit. Everything, including the allied spirits that are around them that, excuse me, other practitioners might not have met before because they didn't heed the teachings that were being brought to them. Aren't they? You hear the waves crashing? I kind of just want to take a second, like, let's all just take a second and just breathe. This shit is so nice. Yes, I am. Choose one only. There's a reason why both of them are appearing to you at the same time. That shit happens to throw you off your path, period. I am. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, Foresight. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. The masters, I know masters of their practice who have reached the point of being brought the title of master of a certain practice. They literally are the embodiment of their patrons and patronesses and their practice, period. Every single one of them embodies their spirits in the current that they work with. They're in direct alignment with exactly who it is that they work under. That's what I mean. Yeah, I've seen some beautiful life as a result of sticking to the path that I've been on. I've seen some beautiful things and met some amazing people who are on the exact same path as me. Been rewarded in ways that I won't even mention on this, but it's absolutely unreal the things that come when you remain dedicated to your practice. It's unreal. The way that you learn that is when connect with your ancestors, connect with them, see who they are, see how they were. But when you connect with them, you should connect with the darker ones. Connect with the ones that really worked with the darker shit when they were living. Connect with the ones that worked with black magic when they were alive. Those will be the ones that you want to be connecting with. They'll be able to help you navigate this world. I didn't even. I've randomly picked this music, right? And this shit is so nice. It's so nice right now. It's so stimulating. I'm just literally sitting here in bliss with the music. It feels so good.
Brother Mark, I hit me up. You should hit me up in my DMs. DM me. I got you. Here, you probably won't be able to hear it now because my headphones just died. The Ori and the higher self, that is who you're wanting to achieve connecting with. That's who you're wanting to get into contact with. That is that is the main reason why why I tell people don't mix this shit. Don't mix their paths. Your higher self has a specific function and specific things that it specializes in. There's things that it knows how to do. There are things that have not been unlocked in it as a result of you being in a fucking human vessel. So we're striving to connect with it on a deeper level. We're striving to live with it and embody it within our human vessel. The goal is to bring it into you and actually merge with it. That's the end goal. To truly be what you really are. Good. That's good. Precisely. Precisely, broski. Exactly. Yo, broski, thanks for dropping by, dude. I'm glad to, be able to answer questions that you had and shit. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all you guys being here. I love the questions that you guys have been asking for sure. All that angel shit is a trap. All that work with them, all of that, working with the God that they serve is a fucking trap. It's a trap. I be trying to tell people that shit is a trap. They're more vampiric than that we fucking work with on the left hand path. Because that's who they are. you know exactly what I'm gonna say, brother, for real, because very, very much just like your specific practice and what you do. So that comparison, specifically that, is in resonance with exactly who you are and practice. So that was fucking perfect. Yeah, I can, CJ. I can. That's resonance, bro. That's hilarious. Yes, foresight, exactly. The dark side understanding is going to give you an understanding of the world as a whole. It'll give you an understanding of how this world actually really works. It'll give you an understanding of how you really work. It'll give you a true understanding of how your relationship works, how women work, how their mind works. It'll teach you how to be with and towards everyone around you. And that's facts. But I hate to cut this short, you guys. My phone is about to die. It's on 1%, so it's about to die. I'm about to hop off of here. I'll be live again tomorrow. I'm trying to do lives at the same time every day. So catch me on a live again tomorrow. Those of you who want to do ancestry work alongside me, you want to take a course on it, you want to learn it, it'll be available on Patreon. And there'll be new stuff on working with your ancestors every week. We're gonna do it together. So if you're interested in it, go ahead and sign up on the Patreon. I'll put the link on the description pretty soon once I get off of here and get this damn phone on the charger because I have some work to do. Brother Mark, hit me up, DM me. We'll talk. I got you, bro. Like I got you because there's specific stuff that would work extremely well for you that literally I just want to show you. Absolutely, because it will literally be pertaining to specifically what you already work with. Because every single one of us, in regards to our practice, brother, have someone that works specifically with certain things that we are needing, just within the current and within our own essence. And you know what I mean by our own essence. I'm saying without saying a lot. You catching my drift, bro. Send me a DM on Facebook. But I'll catch you guys later.